Hello guys and girls and the rest of you that are not quite sure. Hey, we're in the shed, boy, aren't we? And it's a bit rather warm still in the evening. It is 7:55, 24.3 degrees in here, 37% chance of rain in here, so better be careful. Right, what are we doing? Well, we're drinking some of this stuff. It's not real beer, is it? Born on. Oh, yawn. Sorry guys across the pond. I'm only messing about. Here's a true one for you. Went to where did I go to? Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, Florida. While I was staying in Florida, went across east to Tampa Bay and walked around the beautiful park and I go on a load of roller coasters. In the morning, literally the first shop we came to, little cafe inside there. You could have, you know, some food and stuff and a beer. And the guy behind the counter said, "Here, do you want to try Budweiser? Have you tried Budweiser before?" Well, obviously, he didn't know I was English. He said, no, until he heard me. Then he said, "Oh, have you tried Budweiser before?" I said, "Well, I have, but I'm not overly excited about it, if you know what I'm saying." And he says, "Right, can you do a taste test for me?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." So he got this little glass out. It's like a little tumbler. And he poured some lager in it out of a labelless bottle, and he got another bottle and another little tumbler and poured some in that. He said, "Right, drink that one." I went, "Oh yeah." Right, he went, "Right, drink that one." I went, "Oh wow." He went, "What?" He said, "I said, that's brilliant. That is so much better than the other one." He said, "You sure you got that right? Have a sip of that one again." I went, "Oh crikey, someone needs to do the washing." He went, "Are you sure?" I said, yeah. I said, "That one. Could pour some more in." And went, "Oh, yeah, it's fucking brilliant, that is. This isn't a joke. There's no punchline yet." And he went, and he was quite upset about it. And I went, "Well, I'm an Englishman. You know, we know our beer. I can tell you now, that beer that I've just drunk and I liked is a lot stronger than that liquid you fed me just now, that stuff." Without being derogatory and stuff. Anyway, he put the bottles up on the counter and they were both Budweiser. He said, "But," he said, "the one that you don't like is the original, this one. And it's been cold filtered." I don't know how many times, it does say on the bottle somewhere. Cold filtered. I said, what's happened to the second one?" He said, "We took the top off, we boiled it, let it cool down, put it back in the bottle, chilled it." I said, "Do it to all of them. That is stonking." It actually tasted like beer, a good beer, fairly strong sort of. It reminded me of Polish lager, some of the weaker Polish lagers. But by golly gee, yes, he wasn't happy, and he left me with a flea in my ear. Anyway, that's enough waffling about beverages. I am fitting my new record vice. I think it's in number 0, or is it 1? It's a 1 ton record, made in England, Sheffield. Nice. I managed to pick that one up for £25, which isn't bad at all considering it's been lubed and greased and it's screwed down, and there's a bolt actually underneath in there, look, going right down. So there's a third bolt, triangular form of bolting it down there through my, what is that, 15mm steel plate and through some more steel plates and down to there, and then I cut the ends of the bolts off so I could open my drawers to get to me zip size. So I thought to myself, right, my old vice, should I throw it away? It's a cheap Chinese one. I think they paid me £2.76 to take it away from them. I think it's something like that. I don't like throwing things away. It served me all this time, although it broke down more than a couple of times, and I've had to repair it. I don't like throwing things away, so I sort of. There were a few instances in the old shed where I could have done with a second vice on the same bit of bench to hold a long piece of steel or you know, a rod or a bar or something, you know, horizontal. There was a number of times I was in that predicament, but I didn't have a second vice. So I am now putting the old original vice here, so it will be sort of, so I can put long things there and do what I got to do, and mucky old shitty little jobs that I don't need to have too much sort of surround movement, area of movement around it. Shitty jobs will be done on this old shitty vice, and all the nice posh jobs will be done on the nice new vice. So there we are. Anyway, so I have a plate. This was on the underside of the wood. Big plate on the top, bolts through, underside. So that was the anchor plate underneath, if you like. So I marked the 2 holes of the old vice, and I've drilled them out to 11mm. Now I need to drill them out to 12mm because they're a bit tight. When you put the bolts down through, it's a little bit tight, and I want them to be just a little bit of wiggle room, so you can just wiggle it around a little bit and then bolt the thing down. And this 3rd hole on this old vice, there aren't 3 fixing holes, there's just 2. Let me show you. Uno, duo. Okay, there is no fixing hole at the back there is nothing. On the bottom there is just 2 holes, 1, 2. Now that hole, that M8 Honda lock nut is on there for a very good reason. The bolt, oh my goodness, there's the new bolt. You see, again, that is a Honda bolt, and some of you hawk-eyed gentlemen and ladies might have noticed that I have my 8mm tap out and about, and my tap and die set open, because I have had the M8 taps, and they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1, 2 and 3 for a reason. You start off with 0, then you go to 1, then you go to 2. It's all about the depth of cut and the sharpness of the cut. So it starts off quite mild, and then gets more sharper, and then it gets sharp. So it's just a series of steps to make the right thread. Now this little chappy here is the original bolts that came out, because it was loose. It was flopping around in there, and that whole assembly at the back, this whole assembly here, right, was flopping around. This plate was flopping around, and you could not tighten this up. So I cut a new thread in there after I'd obviously removed this. Now have a look at this, right? Let me hold it up to the sky. Okay. No, it's not going to do it, is it, you sod? Anyway, can you see how bent that is? Right, it's bending up at the moment, and if I turn it round, this I think is made from Werther's original. I think Werther's original made that bolt. So there we go. So I had to get out all my M8 bolts, set bolts, and then root through my nut box, and I managed to find that Honda set. So finger tightened the 12mm bolt down through and out the bottom of the underside of that plate there, tightened it up, just nipped it up with a 12mm, and I put this Honda lock nut on there. I'll show you what I mean by a Honda lock nut. It hasn't got like a nylon insert in there. It has 2 pieces of metal. You got one, look, camera, you got one there which goes around there, and you got one here which comes around there. 2 sort of semicircles that don't meet in the middle, and they literally pinch the bolt. So I did this one up with another 12mm spanner, or socket even, whilst I held that, and then nipped that up a bit more, nipped it up a bit more, and that ain't going anywhere. That is one of the reasons why it broke one of the times initially before. Are you following me? So when we look at the bottom of this plane here, we see that this nut is sticking out below the flush baseline. So I need to make an indentation that size in that piece of steel, follow the finger, over on the drill press. Okay, so you're following now, aren't you? There's no way I could have just nibbled a bit off of there, because it would cut off the locking mechanism on that nut, and I don't have a nylock nut which is thin enough to do its job in situ. So that is why I have a third hole there. Now I have to enlarge that to the size of that Honda lock nut. And look what I found loitering around in my toolbox. This little beauty is a 20mm. Now I bought, what did I buy this for? I bought a 13mm one for tow bar bolts. I know why I bought this. I bought this when I was doing the DSG gearbox. Yeah, on the old Touran. Because I had to, where those old bushes that broke were, I had to literally ream out where I took the whole box, the housing of the box, to VW, to a friend of mine at VW, and he had to get those sleeves out. I don't know if you guys, those of you that watch the series, you know what I mean. There's two little steel cups that were pressed in with the fingers of the rods go down and the selectors. Once they'd removed those steel cups, the alloy was so burred you couldn't put your finger in without gouging your finger on the barbs in there. So hence my 20mm drill bit. If you haven't seen the DSG gearbox series and you kind of like the way I do things, or it's entertainment in any way, shape or form, please zip back and take a look at it, because it took me an awful long time in pain to do a DSG gearbox fix. 3 parts of it: clutch, mechatronic and selector fork. I've never done a DSG gearbox before in my life, and a lot of VW dealers well, or mechanics don't want to touch it because it's not fun. I needed 4 specialist tools to do the toolbox, the gearbox. 3 I managed to make by doctoring some of my own tools. This is where it gets a bit giggly. It isn't a bad little series, and the one I had to buy is here, and that is it centralizes the clutch on reinsertion, something like that. Yeah, not cheap. It was nearly 50 quid for this tool, and the other tools were silly money, like £300 for one of them and all the rest of it. Go see the videos if you've not seen them. Right, okay, so that's what I'm doing this evening. It's just a little short video to bring you up to speed of what we're doing here. Caroline very kindly took all the shit that was in here, threw it outside the door. This is about 5 days ago. But it's been just too hot. I can't work. My body just, I can't control my body temperature. It just doesn't automatically do it. I've got tingly arms, pins and needles in both arms and both hands constantly now, and it's difficult. So yeah, what we've done is we've been vicious. Half the stuff that was thrown out so we could just walk around in here, it's gone down to the town tip. Gone are the days now, well, I might just keep that bit just in case. I've got all the just in case pieces that I'm ever going to need now. I'm not going to be doing this for a lot longer, much longer, because of. So therefore, it's time to stop collecting pieces of shit and old junk. So yeah, there we go. We popped down to our local bric-a-brac shop today, managed to find a few more signs. Here's one of them. Castrol Motor Oil, follow the finger. Here's the second one. I thought this is quite good. Right, it's really good. And my favourite is this one over here. My favourite. I just love it. But as you can see, I'm kind of getting there with the stuff. And do you know what? Preparing this first plate for this first vise to go onto, it was so nice just to be able to reach up and grab a spanner and an extension bar and a wrench and a socket, a spanner and something else out of there and a wire wheel. I knew exactly where it was and all that kind of thing. It's so nice having everything at the end of your fingertips. It's just brilliant. I was over by the drill press earlier, getting into a bit of a mess with the spray cutting fluid, and I was caked in the bloody stuff. Now I got my best clothes on today because I went out for lunch with Caroline, his family. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So we went out to lunch, come back, and she said, "You go and get changed." Yeah, all right, love. Down the shed. I got into a bit of a mess, and I thought to myself, I wish I had a rag right here so I could just pick it up and wipe myself down. And I did have a rag right here, just one or two. That's about a foot deep. That I did that yesterday, forgotten all about it. There we go. This is an old dining room table LED light fitting. I thought, oh, it's a bit dark in this corner because I haven't really got all this lighting over here sorted out yet, as you can see. Just hanging around doing nothing at the moment, like so. So I thought, right, do that. Beautiful. I can see what I'm doing. Superb. Right, I'm going to upload this right now because you're watching it now. So yeah, drop a like, please. Don't worry about subscribing because I don't care if you do or not. No, those of you that are important to me subscribe anyway. I know. The rest of you that are just fleeting past, just keep fleeting. No, it's fine. Now, if you subscribe to me, it would be amazing because it sorts out the logarithms and it can boost the channel. I have no income anymore. I've been medically retired now for a month. I got stabby pain. I'm like, yeah, go away. Tingle your hands. Help me. Please hit the like button for the love of Winston. Oh, please. And I'll catch you in the next episode when I'm doing something especially properly. Take care. See you again next time. Isn't that right, Winston?